Folks, look at this beautiful bird. This is barbecue chicken, believe it or not. This is a Cornish game hen that we have smoked with mesquite smoke and served up with a few beautiful sides. Tell you what, folks, wait till you try this out. You're absolutely going to love it. Howdy folks, welcome back to Texas Cooking Today. On this episode, as you've already seen, we're making a most beautiful, delicious game hen. Now, this is gorgeous on the plate. It's an inexpensive dish to do. And for summertime, you know, when it's hot outside and you don't want to heat up the house, this is a great dish to go with because you get something that's slow cooked. You get that slow cooked flavor and it's just unbelievable. Now, this is barbecue chicken. Just that the size of the hen was smaller means nothing, okay? This works for big birds and small birds alike, guys. Everything I'm going to show you today is universal when it comes to barbecue chicken. Now, barbecue, what is barbecue? Barbecue isn't grilling, okay? If the heat's under the bird, that's grilling, okay? We're barbecuing, guys. Barbecue, the literal definition of it, that is slow cooking with smoke. Now when we're barbecuing, we want to seal moisture in our meat. So I'm going to teach you how to make a special poultry mop that has some really good flavors that work very well with poultry. It's delicious, guys. Now, if you want to do a glaze on yours, you can do a glaze. I'm not going to get into that today. We're just going to focus on how to do the barbecue chicken. So I'll tell you what, guys, let's get in there and get busy making up some magnificent tasting barbecue chicken. Let's get at it. Come on. Okay, guys, as I said, very simple barbecue chicken. There's not a lot to this. We have our wood, we have our fuel here in the form of charcoal. Now I have here 2 Cornish game hens. These are some fairly good sized Cornish game hens. You can use regular chickens for this, larger, roasters or something like that. That works fine. Now guys, let me explain what we call a mop sauce. A mop sauce is simply a way of keeping moisture in the bird, or in your piece of meat rather, when you're doing barbecue. Because when you're barbecuing, you're cooking for a long time and you don't want to steam out all of that moisture, so you need something that helps to lock it in. The proportions here, this is going to be 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of vinegar, a teaspoon each of garlic, thyme, and our salt. And that's all there is to it, guys. Very simple. We boil that together and then we simply baste the chicken with it as we're cooking. And we do that about once every 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. And that way that chicken will have the moisture locked into it from the oils here. Now guys, let's get on with preparing our charcoal. Then we can prep chickens, make this mop, and get it rolling. Okay guys, we're out here with my million-year-old offset smoker. Matters not, still produces really good barbecue. Now before I get busy smoking, there's something I want to mention before we light this up. Underneath my grate here is a pan. You want a pan down in the bottom of this that you can pour water into. The idea there is you don't want too dry of an atmosphere as you're smoking. You want a little moisture in there. I have my charcoal chimney filled up. There's paper in it. All I need to do is just get some fire started. These chimneys work great, guys, and you don't ever need lighter fluid. All you have to do is just take some old newspaper. That newspaper is going to light the bottom charcoal. The bottom charcoal, of course, heats up quickly and lights up the rest of it very quick and easy. Okay guys, let's get on with preparing these beautiful little birds. Now what I want to do, a couple of things. I want to make sure smoke can get to the meat, and the second thing is I want to make sure that the smaller pieces, these legs and the wings, don't dry out too quickly. In other words, I want even cooking, so I need to do a couple of things here to get the smoke next to this meat. So very gently, if you would, on your bird, just work that skin off as you've seen me do there. The fat is fine in there, guys. It's not really a problem. But what we're looking for, as I said, smoke penetration. Now the skin on the wings, I'm leaving on them, okay? You notice the bird just kind of splays open, and it's really sad looking. So what I want to do is, it's not so much for appearance as it is for quality of cook, but I want to tie his legs off. I want to simply pull them together. Isn't that easy? Take those strings right down through there. Now on this one, I'll use those 2 strings from the front legs to pull those wings right back. There we go. I'm going to tuck the wing behind again. My extra ends. Trim those off, and I'm done. Our chickens are ready to get out there, with one exception. I want to put a little bit of olive oil on these and a bit of salt on these, and boom, we're ready to hit them on that grill. We have all of our ingredients ready to go on our mop. Now I have already measured into this 3/4 of a cup of olive oil and 1/4 of a cup of vinegar, and I'm just going to put that right down in my pan there. A teaspoon of salt right there. Same thing on my garlic powder. Thyme, same thing on this, guys, same exact situation. 1 teaspoon. At this point, I simply bring it up to a boil. There's what I'm talking about, guys. So it doesn't have to boil long, just like I said, a few minutes, just to get those flavors in our spices and herb distributed. Now guys, the top of my charcoal has turned white, as you can see. And I'm going to place some large chunks of wood around the side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to let the metal heat up and bring this wood up in temperature and provide all the smoke we need. So now I have plenty of water in my pan down below. My wood has been soaking, it's ready to go. All I have to do at this point is get my smoker's temperature to stabilize. Okay guys, look here. You see the color of that smoke? How it's billowing gently and it's a light blue color? That's what we're looking for. If it billows a little slower than that and gets a little more blue, then it'll be just perfect. But that is where we're headed. Guys, I went ahead and choked down on that fire and closed that damper, and sure enough, my temperature is heading in the right direction now. It's come down 5 degrees. So guess what? That means that it's time to go ahead and get that chicken right up inside of the smoker here. There we go. And I want to put a little more wood on the fire. And guys, here in just a little bit, I'm going to add a little more charcoal in there. And this is going to be cooking up a storm. So I'll tell you what, that's all you really have to do is just occasionally add some charcoal, keep your wood around the outside edges, and that way it doesn't flare up on you and you get a better smolder. Let's take a look down here, and we're going to go ahead. It's been 30 minutes. I'm going to get a little bit of my mop on here, and I'm just going to use a simple basting brush rather than a mop. For something this light, I don't need anything heavier than this, as you can see. Now guys, the chicken is going to look a little different when you're smoking it than when you're baking it, and that's because the nitrates in the smoke are affecting the proteins in the meat. Guys, take a look at that. I've just pulled these in off of the smoker. They've been out there for a few hours. Now the thing of it is how long you have them out there just kind of depends on you, if you want deep smoke penetration or light. What I like to do, some people like to cook their meat all the way through out on the smoker. I like to usually finish mine off in the oven. So that's 350 degrees in the oven. Get that core temperature up on these guys, and then they are ready to eat. Now, at this point, right here, if you're interested in glazing your birds, this is when you want to do it. The next thing before I put that in the oven, I want just a little bit of water in the bottom of my dish This is just to keep, again, moisture in the meat. We're trying to keep it from getting dried out. And this isn't going to take a long time in the oven. That's the reason I only put about 1/4 of an inch of water in the bottom there. So guys, let's get it in the oven and it's done. There it is, folks. Beautiful. Now, if you're looking for a neat way to do a barbecue chicken, well, guess what? There it is. Okay, so this sort of makes that simple barbecue dish go from just simple to something that could easily be defined as elegant. The meat is pulling back so easy that just came off all by itself. Guys, first of all, it's all pink up in here. There's a reason behind that. Those are the nitrites and nitrates affecting the myoglobin in the meat. That's the protein that makes it pink or red. And it was preserving it, so it kept its color even after 4 hours of cooking. It's beautiful and it's delicious. Oh, guys. This beautiful harmony of the chicken and the smoke. It's just what it should be. A light saltiness, a simple, very light hint in the background of garlic and thyme. So delicate. The meat is still moist, it's tender and juicy. Oh, I'm so looking forward to finishing that. It's unbelievable. Guys, this is a delicious and wonderful way for you to do a bird, so please give this a try. I would like to say thank you so very much for watching Texas Cooking Today. To my subscribers, extra special thank you to you guys. Cheers to you. Thank you to those people that write in on a regular basis. I appreciate your help and your support more than you can imagine. It's one of the things that drives me and keeps me going. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you would, share my videos. And folks, one other thing, if you would, please have a good day. Bye-bye. Oh man, I tell you, anybody that says, oh man, anybody can make a YouTube video, there's more to this than anybody thinks. I'm on take number 4, folks. What are you doing? You say one thing wrong and suddenly you're re-recording. It'll drive you nuts.